What's up, everybody? I just wanted to let everybody know about Calhoun Asampi Sisha. Calhoun Asampi Sisha is a native-owned business. The name is very meaningful. It's a combination of a Scottish last name and an Oglala Lakota last name. Calhoun Asampi Sisha plans on having a whole line of products from candles to bath bombs. Calhoun Asampi Sisha plans on using part of the profits to make visible change with a focus on helping students attend university. They believe that if they help them in a crucial stage, they will gain the skills to help their communities. Another goal is to help the indigenous community with accurate representation, and they plan on doing this by modernizing indigenous trading while respecting traditional beliefs. The current slogan for Calhoun Asampi Sisha, a first of its kind, a whole tribe line. They're working very hard to get their business going, and they plan on dropping candles February 28th. So go check out the Facebook page, Native Candles, that's the letter N, 8V Candles, and follow them on Instagram. So that's N8V_candles. And also check out the website, www.n8vcandles.com. So that's www.nativecandles.com, but it's n8vcandles.com. So be sure to follow them, Facebook, Instagram, and check out the website. And get ready for February 28th. Thanks, everyone. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Okie Podcast. On today's episode, I have such an amazing guest. He is a former offensive lineman for the Chicago Bears and the University of Montana. Today we have Levi Horn. What's going on, bro?
Not much. Just very thankful to be on the Okie Podcast today. Finally catch up with you. I mean, this has been some time in the making, right? And just getting our everything together and letting life come. It's a blessing to be able to, even just come downstairs and, visit some relatives, some family, some good people from across the country, and hopefully have some good words for those people who turn on and listen to this great podcast.
Yeah, man, we've been talking about this for a while. Like, like I can't even say how long.
Yeah,
timing is right.
That's kind of me, man. I'm really not a good planner. Like, yeah, that's why me and my wife were so good together, because she's like, all right, Levi, this is what we have to do. And this is all right. This is when I'll do it. Me, I'm like, when it happens, it's going to happen. And when it does, it's going to be good.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel the same. Like, it wasn't working out and our schedules were conflicting, but I knew like we would get it somewhere down the road. I knew we would get it. So yeah, everything happens in good timing, and so this is gonna be a good one.
Yeah, so I guess I'll start a little bit about me, Levi Horn. My native name White Buffalo, and Holy Thunderbird man, adopted Anishinaabe from Chief Big Sky. My mother's Julie Horn. My grandfather is Harold Horn Sr. He's made his journey. But my mother's been my rock my whole entire life in my family. She never wanted me to play football either. And, just getting to learning about my story as I've been playing football, and then my native story it's been a trip, and it's been a super privilege to do this. And before I forget, I just want to shout out to one of my mentors, Chance Rush, making moves, wearing his shirt right here. That's my guy out there. So hopefully he sees this, and just want to send some love out to him, because he's always doing big things and good things out there in our community.
Yeah, shout out to him, man. He's a good dude. I met him a couple weeks ago. Finally, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, man. He's a cool dude. So
man, he's
shout
always
out
on
to
the
him.
grind.
I know he's always on
Yeah.
the go,
Yep,
man.
he got my grind up there too, and I guess we can just start here. And one of the things that I talk about a lot is our lateral violence that we have within our communities is just it's just brutal. Another one of my mentors, he told me, he goes, Levi, it's not the white man, it's not the black man. He goes, there's nobody else going to cut down us except for us. We do it the best, and which is so negative, so horrible. But one thing that I learned from Chance and my boy Casey Nicholson and Gary Davis Jr. When I started this journey of speaking and sharing my story, those men, those native men, were just ready to bring me up, to teach me, and I've been very blessed to have those mentors and those people in my life, which it's been just so important. And so when we talk about this, the blessing of getting to go around the country and seeing some change, I do see some change in that lateral violence, and the way we treat each other, which is good, is positive. When I go out there and I speak, I say, everybody in our tribe, our clan, our village, we all had a job and we all did it together, and everybody had their job, or else that winter was going to be hard, that season was going to be hard. So we don't have to do it alone. And what I got's going to help you out, Russell. And Russell, what you got is going to help me out, just like Chance and Gary taught me. So we got to go back to those days of thinking, hey, I don't got to do it all by myself. Let's do this together. Let's make this good. Which is something that I just truly believe in. We just got to get this hate and this envy, this jealousness out of our way, because that's nothing that we ever taught. We never taught that. We were taught to be humble, be thankful, and helpful. Feed. Give somebody food. Give somebody the best blanket that you have in the house.
Yeah, yeah. It's I haven't been like, well, I'm sure it's going around, but I haven't really had any problems with lateral violence. But then again, I don't look for stuff like that. Like
Mm-hmm.
I'm out here doing what I do and meeting new people, networking, and I don't
Mm-hmm.
have time for that. I don't
Mm-hmm.
have time for stuff like that, because I'm constantly on the move. Like I'm constantly doing something every
Mm-hmm.
day, every weekend. And so, you know, but I've heard of it, man. I've heard that it just, it's the crab in the bucket thing.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
it is. And when we sit there and we talk about, urban natives, reservation communities, white, non-white, and then just our reservation, and the the thought of even doing something bigger or leaving or putting each other down, it just that negativity, and especially in this culture, it's so easy to put somebody down. It's so fast. I can just go grab this phone and boom, 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 and start nailing somebody, start putting somebody down. I tell the kids when I was 6 years old, it was the first time I gave my dream to the creator. I said I was going to go to the NFL. And I tell the kids, I go, what did everybody do? They go, everybody gets this question right. They go, they laughed at you, Levi. Everybody on the block, family, it was just amazing how ready that people were ready to put me down instead of build me up. And so that's just one of the things that I talk about is, we have 50,000 thoughts a day. 98% of the thoughts are the same as we had yesterday, and about 80% of those are negative. And if that's the norm that we're living at, I try to teach positivity, and it's hard, and they go, how'd you start doing that, Levi? I go, it was with my schooling, but I started catching myself being negative. All right, let's catch that one. How can I revert? And so now it's so instantaneous. Like I can sit there and late for work, in trouble, did something wrong. And I'm like, all right, well, this is what you did. You put yourself in this situation. A plus B equals C, and you earned it. But what are we going to learn from this? How are we going to be better? How am I going to set myself up better for the next time? And making learning experiences, failure, okay, but building off of it. And that's just one thing. we just see so much, and youth period nowadays is just, all right, I failed. It's over. Let's give up.
Yeah. That's how I was, man. Because nobody ever said it's okay to fail, and that's the thing, like growing up, because you feel like you have to be perfect, I guess. You have to, um, well, I felt like that. I felt like I had to not fail because if I did, I'd really get in trouble for failing. Nobody ever said, "Oh, well, it's cool, just pick yourself up and do better or do it again or something." So I always felt like there was this weight on my shoulders to try to be perfect all the time. And it gets to you, man. Like it gets to you because I psych myself out and later when I'm older, I'm like, man, it's okay to fail. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's no big deal because you have so many chances to make it right. But
Mm-hmm.
you can't be perfect though. Like nobody's perfect. I'm always learning. I'm always failing. I still fail today. Like, but like I'm not afraid to fail, and that's the thing.
And that's one thing when I do a workshop, and that's one of the key points of one of my workshops is this fear of failure. The biggest one, I'll share the story. First team all-state tight end for a 1-9 team here in Spokane, Washington. First person in 20 years that even anybody remembers getting first team all-state. First person since anybody can remember getting got a scholarship to the University of Oregon. And boy, I went there so scared. It should have been the happiest time in a young footballer's life, but I was like, I just knew I wasn't ready. I wasn't ready for any of that. I wasn't set up for that. I didn't set myself up for that. The struggles I had, all that stuff, those excuses. But I went there and I just tried to do it all by myself. I tried to do it. I stopped praying. I stopped calling my mom. I stopped calling my coaches, my mentors. And I just said, I got to do this. I got to do this for me. I got to do this for my family. I got to do this for Northern Cheyennes. I got to do this for Native people all over the country. So, I mean, it goes back to that village, that tribal thought, like, man, I just tried to do it all by myself for everybody. And it was this thought, this fear of failure. I was so scared to fail that I didn't let myself succeed. I went back into negative ways, going with negative people, surrounding myself with just negativity, period. And I was just so scared to fail. I was just frozen. And of course, Will Smith, I'm sitting there digging up stuff for my workshop. And here comes this Will Smith clip. And he says, he goes, people need to redefine failure. He goes, and I sat there and I thought about it while I was doing this, of course, while I'm in my 30s compared to when I'm 18 to 22 playing football in college. He goes, every time you go out to that field, you go to fail. I have failed more as an NFL football player than I have succeeded as an NFL football player. But it was every time that I lost against that defensive end or that linebacker blitz and I didn't see it, or that coverage, or that spin move, that I learned that I learned to be able to get to Sundays. So I was like, oh man, that's true. Every time you go to the gym, you seek failure. You seek fail for those muscles. Mm-hmm. So I was like, wow. I was like, I my mind was already going in that way, but I was like, man, that's such a good way for me as a jock, as an athlete to think about it. It's like, man, yeah, I have failed more than anything for my small number of successes that I have had. And he had a saying, fail early, fail often, fail forward. I was like, man, that is so empowering. And so when I get out to Native communities, when I go out and see these youth, adult, anybody I can get a chance to, is like, man, it's okay to fail. It's all right. But so as I surrounded myself with negativity at the University of Oregon, as I was unhappy, as I did all this stuff, I tell everybody, I go, they asked me to transfer. They said, Levi, you can transfer or we can kick you off. We have enough stuff. You've compiled enough record. And so they were nice to me. And I was like, all right, okay, I'll transfer. Just as I was getting my business together too, I started praying, Started talking to my mom, my coaches. I started surrounding myself with positivity again. Started filtering out people who were in my circle. So I was really just getting my business together. And they're like, all right, we've had enough. Late to one more meeting. At that level, it's all it takes. Being late
Mm-hmm.
to a meeting. I tell them, I go, the real failure would have been me just saying, all right, lost my scholarship. I'm going to go home, pick up a 40, pick up a blunt, call it good. That was good enough. I feel so many of our special athletes, they go to state championship, they get MVP or whatever, and they go, you know what, that was good enough. And it hurts, it stops so many of our kids.
Mm-hmm.
But something just kept me, the love of football. That was the one thing the Creator gave me that was more special than anybody else. Creator gave me that spark, that drive, and I never wanted to lose that. I told my coach when I was a freshman in high school, I go, man, I want to play football forever. And that's what I tried to do. And with that drive, with that spark, with football that Mahale, Creator, gave me, I turned around after everything was over. It gave me amazing mentors, made me a better father, made me a better husband, made me a better son, brother, gave me an education, and taught me the little things of positivity in life, goal setting, just the people that are around you. So I'm very blessed to have this game in my life and all the people that helped me through it.
Yeah. Yeah. When you say that, though, about that was your last chance over there and you were just starting to get your business straight, and then you transferred, right? You transferred to Montana, correct?
Yep. University of Montana, go Grizz, baby.
And so right there, that's like a clean slate.
Yeah.
And you have your head on straight also. You got all
Mm-hmm.
the negativity out. You're
Mm-hmm.
ready this time around. You're praying and you're not doing it by yourself, as you
Mm-hmm.
said before. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So like and yeah, going to Montana, I know it was a good restart, I guess I should say.
Mm-hmm. Oh
Yeah.
yeah. It was huge because also I went from University of Oregon where there's a lot of privilege and I wasn't ready for that. I was very self-centered. I was very, why do all these people get all this and this is what I had to start out with? The why me's, and those don't get you anywhere except for hurting, right? And so after I was able to reset and humble myself, really, like, Levi, you're good at football, but somebody else is going to be good at football too. And so my coach actually told me the conversation he had between Oregon and himself, Bobby Houck, for the University of Montana. He was like, it was very nice he was like, he's a good kid, he just needs a second chance, probably third chance, fourth chance. But he was like, no, he'll go out there, he'll do it for you. And the biggest thing from University of Oregon to Montana was more blue collar.
Mm.
And, we were out there grinding. And I definitely didn't think that coming from Oregon to Montana was going to be any type of way. Like I was going to be special or something, because those Montana boys made sure that I didn't feel special coming out to practice. And, but sitting there seeing Native Americans walking across the quad, going to class, old natives, young natives, in between, going out there, getting that education, having professors, brown professors, teach me my history. Man, that was really the start of my healing, the start of healing my trauma, finding out what my people went through so I could sit there and say, you know what, that's the reason why auntie, uncle, mom, grandpa, that's why they were hurting. And this is why they acted the way they act. So it helped me forgive people around me with that education. And I think that education and knowledge, we don't have to dwell on it. We don't have to sit there and say, oh, poor me, like everybody thinks we do. But, we learn about it and it helps our healing. We figure out why. And so we can go forward in a good way and like, okay, it helped me forgive a lot of people in my life and helped me figure out why I was hurting. So yeah, going to University of Montana, Creator put me there for a reason. And, I just accept that.
Yeah, well, that's a good point about learning your history. And okay, so when you're in high school, did you go to a public school? Like just okay, so yeah, you didn't learn any of that, huh? That
Nope.
same thing with me. Same thing with me. Went to public school. Did not know anything about my own tribe. They never talked about any tribe in general. And
Mm-hmm.
so the only thing they talked about was American history and Thanksgiving and
Mm-hmm.
Columbus Day. And we were a part of that. Like we were a supporting cast for that.
Yeah.
And so there's no real story about it. There's no nothing like that. And then when you get to college and you have these, I went to I in New Mexico, so it's a native school, native art school, and
Mm-hmm.
like going there just opened up everything for me. I was awakened, and it was so cool to meet like tribes from everywhere, all around here,
Mm-hmm.
and just to hear like their experiences and hear about their culture and their language and
Mm-hmm.
me coming in, man, I didn't know anything about my own tribe. And God, dude, it was intimidating. It was so intimidating. But like you said, man, like, people are so helpful, because there's people there that knew about my tribe. And so
Yes.
I was like, whoa, really? So started picking up books, started getting on the internet, learning on you not YouTube, but learning on Google and just
Mm-hmm.
reading all kind of stuff. And yeah, dude, it's it sucks. It sucks what we had to go through. We forced
Mm-hmm.
down here and having our rights taken. And God, man, it's just yeah. And like you said, it's healing though. Like, it, I understand why ancestors and aunties, like you said, everybody was the way they were. So
Yeah.
that's a
I
good point you
remember
make.
first time getting on that drum and just being around that stuff, and non-natives, they don't know what they're doing, especially to somebody who, the assimilation process really got me and that really cut it off from what I'm understanding.
Hmm.
Your story seems pretty much like mine, and then the drugs and the substance abuse, that helped too. So when you're a small Northern Cheyenne boy here in Spokane, Washington, removed from your tribe, your elders, your teachings, and people say, "Oh, Levi, like, do you dance? Do you sing? What do you do that makes you Native American?" And I was like, I remember when I was young and just like feeling inadequate so much. I was like, well, then, am I really a Native American?
Hmm.
Because my mom and my family from taught me how to pray, smudge, and one of the best teachings my mom ever gave me was there's no wrong way to pray. And so that was, I mean, that's the basis of my foundation, to just pray, keep that open communication up, and that helped feed me. That helped feed me until I got around and experienced more and more of my culture. And I tell these kids, it's okay. This is what the plan was, to take this away from us. But now it can be our plan to reinstill it. That is my mission in my life right now. My cultural mission is to bring this back to my family. And like right here, I got my first pair of mocks ever. He goes, you need to go call Guinness up and see if those are the biggest mocks ever made. But I mean, that's my first pair of moccasins, and I'm getting my vest beaded up, and I hope to be at, once the powwow circuit comes back alive. I want to be out there with my daughter, because my daughter dances now, and get my little boy into it too. And those guys, they speak Salish. They go to Salish immersion school, and they speak the language over here. And I did that because it's better than nothing. They get to wake up, sing their songs, and hopefully they go back over and get interested in Northern Cheyenne culture and help revive that. But that's
Hmm.
my mission. You don't come out of the womb with a Pendleton bag with your songs, your drumstick, your prayers, and stuff like that. And I just want to say to all those kids out there who feel in that type of way, don't feel any less of a Native American because you don't have those experiences yet. But let creator take you to those experiences, and make sure you say yes. Make sure you say yes. But
True.
mm-hmm.
True. Well, going back to when they, like, how are you native? Like, how do you think you should, I guess, I guess, because no one asked me that, but I knew it was like, because we had singing, we had powwows, and there was language classes and stuff, but I just didn't understand it. Like,
Mm-hmm.
nobody, and I was too young to probably get it. Like I
Mm-hmm.
was too young, and then you're put in this public school system assimilation and stuff, and it's like, well, which way is the right way? You're kind of
Mm-hmm.
confused too. So, and yeah, I felt out of place. I did. I felt out of place, and I was really shy. I didn't know who to
Mm-hmm.
talk to. I didn't know who to talk to about it, and I didn't want that feeling of like, well, dang, we don't know. Like, just,
Yeah.
yeah, that's the way I felt.
It just makes you feel so insecure because you got
Hmm.
one side of people, they just expect you to know it. And then the other side of the people might not be fully supportive of you to learn it.
Hmm.
And then the people I always remember, like, the very spiritual and up there people in my life, the few of them that we had, man, I was always so intimidated by it. I didn't want to mess up. I was always so scared of messing everything up. And, that's when having it at home, like, hey, baby boy, you're going to do this. You're going to do this. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Having that
Hmm.
practice time helps rather than just when you get thrown in there, man, it's scary. And now, heck, but that's what I do now as I'm 35. Every chance I get, I go, you know what? I'm going to mess up. And you know what? They're going to be okay with it. They're going to be fine with it because they are. You don't understand that when you're a little kid. You think
Hmm.
everything's so defined, so absolute. But go in there. I don't know. Hey, come on. That's what they always. Come on, get in here. Let's do it. We're gonna be fine. And
Hmm.
it always turns out good. So that's one thing I try to tell communities is don't say no. Don't say no to anything. Creator put that in your journey, your path for a reason. And I mean, that's how I got started speaking, man. I get more nervous speaking in front of 100 people than I did playing in front of 50,000. I like it. It reminds me of football. It gets all the nerves going. And but truly, I am. I never thought I was going to do this, but because I said yes, to a mentor in my life at the University of Montana. I've been able to be blessed and do this for 10 years and go across the country, Canada. And, it's the best when I go back to places and then they go, hey, Levi, I did this. Hey, Levi. I had this one little chubby boy. He goes, Levi, I want to be a football player. I was like, yeah, man. I was like, you can do it. Do whatever you want to do, bro. You just got to keep trying your best. He goes, you know why I know I can do that? And I was like, why? He goes, because you did it. I was like, oh, geez. I was like, how are you gonna get the big guy crying? Uh, but it's just, because I said yes, I get to do this work, and I'm very honored.
Yeah, that's true though. Say yes. I was the same way. I was so scared of everything, and I remember I had one opportunity because I was I'm still big, but I was way bigger back in 2009 or 10, and I
Mm-hmm.
had an opportunity to speak to uh some natives, I guess,
Mm-hmm.
about working out and stuff and what I did to do that. This is a long time ago, and I said no. I was like, no, like I don't think I would be right for that,
Mm-hmm.
and I wouldn't even know what to say, but I just said no, and so after that, I never got any more chances to. I never got asked to do anything like that again, and it's
Mm-hmm.
like, but you got to do this work, and now I'm so confident, doing this, speaking to everybody around everywhere. It's got my confidence up so well, that
Mm-hmm.
now, like, I was asked to do sports commentating. And so I've never done that before. I was like, that's what I said to you. I was like, bro, I've never done that, but I'll do it. I talk all the time. So let's try it. Like, if I fail, like, who cares, right? Like, we're just starting out. So let's see how it goes. It was an awesome season. So I
Mm-hmm.
got better and better. It was horrible the first one, but I get better.
Yeah, that's it. That's what it's about. That living, love, and experience, man. The failures, just like we were talking about earlier.
Mm.
Hey, a little bit of failure here, but you got better, got back up. Heck, if Tony Romo can do it, I believe in you.
Mm-hmm. True. Yeah. Dang, Tony Romo.
Oh
But that
man.
goes back to like our culture and stuff too. Like I'm 33, and it's never too late to learn. It's
Mm-hmm.
never too late, and right now, I work with we're not technically a language program, but we're trying to not revive it, but keep it around. I forget the
Mm-hmm.
word for it, but keep it around. And I'm our audio visual guy. So,
Mm-hmm.
we gotta do our classes on Zoom.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll record them, I'll edit what needs to be taken out, and then I'll push it on our social media. And I do our social media too. And what's cool is though I'm learning, our
Mm-hmm.
language and
Yeah.
some more history and stories. And I mean, and at first too, I was like, dang, I was like, well, I do want to learn. I do want to learn. And I think this would be an awesome opportunity. And our first semester was really great. So I'm looking
Mm-hmm.
forward to the next one. But for real, like if anybody feels like they want to learn their culture and all that, do it. Do you have a truck? Do you need accessories? Then look no further than Vance Truck Accessories. Vance Truck Accessories is owned by the man himself, Chris Vance. Chris has built his business from the ground up and is based in Oklahoma City. Chris makes it a point to push and install American-made products and will work hard to accommodate everyone. Vance Truck Accessories takes pride in supporting local veteran groups, local school groups, and other local businesses. Check out the Vance Truck Accessories Facebook page and check out the website www.vancetrucks.com for more info and to book your next appointment. And did I mention they do window tint on the weekends? Well, they do. So get on down to Vance Truck Accessories and let them know Russ from Okie Podcast sent you.
Mm-hmm.
Do it. It's never too
Just
late.
jump into it. Yeah, when I got back over here, I knew like mentally I had to prepare myself huge for that stop with football. I did football my entire life. That was all I ever wanted. That's to please my coaches, to please fans. That's how I valued myself, was that game of football. So it, going towards college and then into the NFL, I had to prep myself. Hey, this is going to end one day. And Levi, you can't be broken and you can't use that as an excuse. I don't have football anymore, so I'm going to be a lazy, good for nothing. Use these excuses, right?
Mm-hmm.
So with that, I came back to Spokane, Washington, and I got a youth job. I always said I had so many people help me get here. I want to be able to help those other people. And that thing with saying yes. They asked me, "Do you want to be a drug and alcohol counselor, Levi?" I was like, "Yep, let's do it." Literally, like the next 2 days, I got enrolled before semester. I was like, "All right, man, I'm getting ready to be a drug and alcohol counselor." I did that for 5 years. I just recently stepped back. I got a job at my school, at my old high school. I'm the head freshman coach, which I didn't think I was going to do that either. I was a varsity O-line coach. Go there, know my schemes. I know blocking, all that stuff. Easy peasy, right? And he
Mm-hmm.
goes, "Hey, Levi, I want you to be the head freshman coach." I was like, "Ooh, I don't know if I want to do that." And I sat back and I go, "Levi, who else would do it? Would somebody do it better than you? Is there a reason for you to say no? Can you do this job? Do you have to do more?" Yes. All right. Well, then don't be scared of that. Don't be scared of getting better and say yes. So I said yes to that. I took a step back for my own mental health purposes from the drug and alcohol job, which I loved it, but it's coming home. It's coming home with me. And I had to stop that. I took more of a mentorship role, kind of a little bit more relaxed at my school here. And one of my goals was always to get my master's degree. So in the fall, I will be enrolling to become a high school counselor and get my master's degree. It's something I always said, and talking it into existence. And that's what I'm doing, just having that positive mindset of thinking it's going to be 3 years of hard work, but the lives, the things, the people that I can change, that's what I want. And so that's what I'm doing it for. And to hold a master's degree as a Native American man and be able to travel around and say, hey, if this big old jock can do it, so can you.
That's awesome, man. Congratulations.
Yep. Yep. And it's scary. I look at everything, but I go, I've done so much schooling already. And, I just tell myself, you're adequate, you're enough, and you're capable. So it might be scary, Levi, but you can do this.
Mm-hmm. Going to the same college, Montana?
No, I'm gonna go. I think I'm gonna do Grand Canyon University online. So,
Okay.
so I can do that at work, come home, hit the books, then be with the family right away.
Gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
And you start that in the fall?
Yep, that's the plan. I'm getting everything rolled up. I'm in touch with recruiters, and I'm making this thing happen. I'm making moves, just like my boy Chance would say.
Mm-hmm. Well, let me know how that is, Grand Canyon University. I always see the commercials and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was going to ask you too. Oh yeah, real quick. What size are your mocks?
16 and a half. So make sure they're nice. And I got size 16s, but he goes, I made 16 and a half. Make sure you can put enough, some padding in there. They're comfortable. Got the Morning Star right there. That's my people's. That's my people's flag right there.
And those are nice. Those are clean. They're clean.
Yep.
Dang, size 16.
Shout out to Coach Yellow Eyes, David Yellow Eyes. He did my beadwork over here in Washington. He lives up here in Washington with me. He's a relative. So
shout out. I was gonna ask, man, after Montana, so a successful college career, and then you go to the NFL. What were your like? Okay, so I don't know how it goes. I don't have any personal experience. So, did you graduate from Montana, or did you declare for the draft, or like how does all this go?
Yeah, so senior year, I made my goal to be All-American and get a shot in the NFL. My coach looks at me and he goes, Levi, you can. He goes, you can do this. And I liked his wording because it wasn't going to be, we're going to do this. We got this. Us as a team, we're going to get you. He put that all on me. He goes, Levi, you can do this. And it was all up to me, my dedication, my effort. And so we went to the national championship again. We went 51-6 as a senior class. I was All-American, first team All-American, Northern Cheyenne from Spokane, Washington. Very proud to say that for all those kids out there who want to do that. And then so I fell up short a little bit on some of my classes, but people were coming in, coaches were coming in. We had our pro day, and that's when Mike Tice from the Chicago Bears flew into Missoula, Montana, worked me out. He was very truthful. He was like, Levi, I saw the first 3 games. He goes, I saw your 3 games. He goes, first 2 games, I thought you were trash. He goes, then I saw the third one. And he's like, I could do something with this kid. I could do something with him. So coach had faith in me and brought me up, and I signed as an undrafted free agent when I had about 16 teams call me up that day wanting to sign me up there for OTAs and for preseason camp and everything. So, but right away, Coach Tice, he saw something in me, so I went with him. Got to go to OTAs, a lot of rookie stuff, living in a hotel. Got through OTAs and went into fall camp. It's like 6:30 in the morning till about 11 o'clock at night.
Dang.
For about 4 weeks. You get a preseason game in there, then you got 3 more preseason games after that. And while it's going on, man, people heads are rolling. And you're just like hoping it's not you. So I was able to get through the first preseason. It was my last game versus the Raiders. Like, we got a lot of playing time. He goes, all right, Levi, let's go. The second play, I rolled my ankle.
Oh, no.
And I went over to coach. I was like, Coach, my ankle is messed up. He goes, yeah, I saw it. He goes, what? You better go get that spot, though. So I taped it up, went back out there. And I was very blessed to be over there. I say I wasn't the most talented when it comes to the NFL, but my work ethic was just, I didn't know how to go any lower than 100%. And the effort and hustle. I was a mean, nasty offensive lineman. That's why Coach Tice liked me, and I was so much so they thought I had an anger problem. The recruiters asked my coach Bobby Hogg, "Does he have an anger problem?" They're like, "No, man, he's actually a really nice guy." But yeah, going through that whole process, and I had to stop and be like, this is really cool. This is what 6-year-old Levi wanted to do. This is, I got to take my mom to England, and I got to experience all these different things because of this game. And uh, one of the biggest thing that I'm most proud of is showing my kids, and not only my kids, but all of our native kids all over the place. Like, I never saw any Native Americans in the NFL, and now these kids, they get a chance to. I'd be like, hey, look me up on YouTube. If you want to do this, you want to be the best, you want to be the top in whatever you're doing, you can do it. Just because you're a Native American does not give you the excuse not to try. Mm-hmm. And there's so many more collegiate and professional Native Americans out there right now. I'm just so proud of, and it's just making our community stronger and stronger because we love sport. We were based off sport. It was a big thing for us, and it fills our heart to be able to play for our families, our names, our tribes, and it was just something real special to do for everybody, but with everybody. I had a lot of people shout me out and, hey, Levi, congratulations, good job, that's awesome. I had a lot of support when I was doing it in college and in the NFL. So, shout out to everybody who gave me good words and prayers, and it means a lot to me. Now I just really use that to give back.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was going to ask you if you ran into any other natives in the NFL.
No.
Mm-mm. Dang. And then, yeah, because you played, what were the years you were in NFL?
2010 to 2012.
Okay.
I did go up to the CFL for a bit, and I played for the BC Lions with J.R. LaRose. He's a native up there in Canada, but it was cool. I was like, we sat down, we were chopping it up, and I was like, the odds of 2 Native Americans being on a professional team? I was like, they got to be astronomical. But yeah. it was cool to play with him and be up there and see and learn about the natives up there and what they've been through. That was a whole nother education that I went through, and I got some bros up there. Proud to call family.
Yeah, I've had a few people from Canada on here, and they talk about what they've been through. Mm-hmm. And it is, man. It's a whole new education because we're not taught about them, and I would never think to check it out. And when they talk about it, it's like, holy crap. It's like, so I need to dive more into it. Because it's crazy, dude. And then they have their treaty territories. Mm-hmm. And I always wonder what that was. Like, they'd say Treaty 6 and Treaty all this, and I never knew what that was. It just kind of went over my head. And then they told me, and they're like, this is that. And I was like, oh, okay, I get it now. Sorry for not knowing.
Yeah, no, it's a total different thing. And I guess us as Native Americans, we just think it's easier up there. They're nicer and everything, but no, their past is just as brutal as ours.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So shout out to them. They support this, man, and I appreciate them for showing love and all that too. And I was gonna ask you too. Oh yeah, what is OTA? You said that.
Official training activities.
Oh, okay.
God, lucky I still had that up there in my mind, but because I was gonna actually say it, but then I forgot. But yeah, official training activities. That means you're on the squad. That means you signed a contract, but they can dump you pretty quickly. But yeah, official training activities.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Well, I've watched you watch Hard Knocks, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so Yeah, it always seems like a stressful time at the beginning when they're always following a certain player, and that certain player is like that, like you said, like they're just waiting to be told to go home.
Yeah, man. That was 2 years, 3 years of my life,
Oh my god.
and it's just you just play for your job every day.
Hmm.
But on the other hand, you're playing for somebody else's job. It's really, it's cutthroat, man. It's intense. When people sit there and they go, "Oh, those players are whining and blah 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 blah." Like, man, you don't know how brutal it is.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah, man, it's real because now money's involved, and I mean,
Mm-hmm.
it's yeah, and these are grown men, and God, dude, yeah, I can only
Livelihood,
imagine.
livelihoods, families.
Hmm.
Yeah. That's why I'm very blessed. Some people didn't have their education to fall back onto, and
Hmm.
I'm very blessed. I got to be up there. I got to do it, and I still got my education. I still got my mind. I can still walk around, and you know, I see football as a part of my story. But what I do now, giving back, going out, teaching, that's that's what I was supposed to be here for.
Hmm. How long have you been speaking to youth and
I've
all
been
that?
I've been speaking since 2008. Really, I think
Oh
I got my
wow.
first speaking engagement up on the Fort Belknap Res. I think when I was a junior, 2008.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
I thought it was just kind of recently. Well, not recently, but
yeah, yeah,
2008. Wow.
yeah. So a lot of stuff that I just kind of do mine. I'm trying to ramp up the media portion and trying to get out there a little bit more, but I just kind of word of mouth. I'll bounce over and I'll go speak at one spot, and then somebody will hear me from there, and then I'll go over to the next one. So yeah, for those who do listen to this podcast, like what I'm saying, hit me up at levihorn.com, hit me up on Facebook, hit me up on Instagram, get a hold of me. I'd love to come out to your reservation, your community, wherever it's at, and speak. Workshops, um, professional workshops, motivational speaking, sports camps. No matter what sport it is, we can get some basic fundamentals in there and have a good time. It's just something I love to do, and yeah, get at me.
Have you ever been here to Oklahoma? Like to do anything?
So I was the American Indian Expo, right?
Hmm.
There's a powwow. What boarding school is that? My
There's
Coach Vermonti brought me down there.
there's Riverside, and then there's Telequah Indian School.
So yeah, so I went over to Riverside. They had American
Okay.
Indian Expo where they had like the fancy dance championship, and I had this big powwow, and then they had a parade. I was on a parade, but yeah. So I've been down to Riverside. Coach Bramani, his wife, works over there. Bitsy, Elizabeth, shout out to them. They're awesome. He was my coach for arena football team, native guy. So
Mm.
that was pretty cool. A Native American coach and a Native American player down in New Mexico. But yeah, I'd love to get down there in Oklahoma and get out there and do some good. Here's one of my we got a little VIP visitor right here. Come here. This is my boy Maddox. You want to come over here, Callie?
Oh.
Come here, Callie. This is Maddox. You want to come here? And then we got the cousin over here, Callie Ray. All righty. Love you. They always like to sneak up on me when I'm on Zoom or anything. Like, come here. Get a little cameo action. But yeah, I haven't been down to Oklahoma too much. A lot of Montana. I've gone over to Maine. I need to get down in the Southwest. That's kind of my goal. Get down in the Southwest a little bit more. But yeah.
Yeah, man, come through if you're ever down here. Let's link up or something. I live in like around Tulsa, so
Also,
if you're ever around this area,
you
I
got
just
it,
had
man.
Casey Nicholson on too. I had him on.
Casey's so you've met like me, Casey, and Chance. We all go hard.
Yeah.
Like that, like those are, if you look at my Facebook, it's one of the workshops that we did. We did a work site wellness. Again, back to not saying no. one of my guys, he calls me up from 3 affiliated. He goes, "Hey Levi, you want to do a worksite wellness?" I was like, "Sure can, no problem. Let me just call my team up." And he goes, "Okay, get whatever you need, whoever you want." And I was like, "All right." So me, Casey, and Chance, we all smashed out, put this worksite wellness together for about 80 employees for the 3 affiliated. And, it was good. It was good. It was a special time. That was one of the engagements that I love. But shoot, man, none of us had no worksite wellness curriculum or anything. But we all put it together, and man, it was a smash. Me and Casey and Chance, we've been working together since probably like 2016. We all went to the Yakima Indian Reservation. This lady got us all together, and after that, man, it was over, man. We're just all 3 brothers, and we run around, we feed off each other, it's a good time. So,
yeah. Shout out to them, man. Once again, and yeah, Casey was talking about, I mean, Levi Horn, and like it was just, I was like, this is so crazy. Like, I got you, Casey. Now and then I didn't tell him you're coming on. It's a surprise. So,
yeah.
But both of you all the same week. Like it was dope. It was dope to have you all on here.
Yeah, man, it's been a blessing to be here. Talk with you. Every time I talk or do something, man, it always gets me ready to go do something else. So, today was a good day to get up and, share with a bro. And hopefully the people enjoy it. And if you enjoyed it, get at me, levihorn.com. Facebook me. I'll be open. I'll get out to your area.
Instagram too.
Levi Horn 79.
Yep. Yes. So you heard that, everybody. Go hit up Levi. He is a motivational speaker, former player of the NFL, Montana, future Masters.
Hopefully.
Yes. We're going to speak it. We're going to keep speaking it into existence. Yes.
I like it.
You're going to do it. You're going to do it. And so hit him up. Hit him up if you want him to come to your res, to do workshops, to speak, to do any kind of sports. Hit him up. So thank you, bro, for coming on, making time. You're welcome back anytime. So you can just come back on. We could talk or whatever. So it was nice to finally meet you.
Yeah, for sure. Hey, next one, give me, Chance, and Casey.
Oh, that'd
be a wicked podcast right there.
I would enjoy that. So we should plan for that.
Let's get it working.
Let's get it. So everybody, go follow Levi, keep up with him, and follow Okie Podcast if you haven't yet on Facebook, Instagram, Okie Podcast, one word. Russell Must 49 is my personal. Russell Sun Eagle is my personal on Facebook as well. Go check out the website, www.okiepodcast.com. Okie Podcast is available Spotify, Apple, Audible, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, wherever. I would say Google it or Google my name and you can find it. And so thanks again, bro, for coming on. And until next time, everybody, peace.
Much love.